Hello guys, today I'm going to comment on Tim Pool's video and with his guest.
Good friends today, and their kids are, 9 or 10 years old, and they tell me they were scared and unsure, and the doctor said abortion's always an option, and they didn't know what to do. I have one friend who was told you are not medically capable of doing this, and it could cause you could die. And
Whoa.
ask them now, would you have preferred to have gotten an abortion? And they say, how dare you? Because they have a kid who's 9 years old. Are you
Yeah.
nuts? They love their
Yeah.
kids.
No mother ever has the regret that she had a baby. I've never met one, at least. Maybe there's one out there, but conversely, you ask people who've had an abortion and you have a
lot.
lifetime of regret that you can't make it better.
This is what Trump did really well in that town hall. And boy, did they freak out. I think this is one of the reasons they probably cut it short. Trump said, Caitlin Collins asks him, if you were president, would you sign a ban on abortion? And he said, well, it depends on what the deal is. Some say 6 weeks, some say 8 weeks. I thought he'd give a brilliant answer. And he said, we've got negotiating power now on this, but it's not the right that's radical. It's the left. The Democrats, they want abortion up to 9 months. They says the woman could be about to give birth and they say you could kill the baby, kill the baby. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
He's completely right.
That was my argument,
right-wing.
by the way, in when I was running. And people were just constantly, the media was like, where do you stand on abortion? Yeah, and I'm pro-life, okay? I want to save as many babies as I can. I've held my own children in my arms, and I know it's a beautiful gift from God. Let's try to help people. Like I said, let's try to help women who are finding themselves in that position where they go, I can't do this. How can we help? Save as many babies as possible. And it should be up to the state to decide. I believe that. And but what we should do is try to support women so that when they're faced with a pregnancy, they can make a good choice that they're going to be able to live with the rest of their life.
We had a left.
So again, I totally believe with Tim Pool and his guest that the left has really gone crazy now and they are misusing abortion. You know, abortion is normally done when the woman's life should be in danger. That is my position. But in general, this has been a level of contention ever since Roe versus Wade. And women have done back alley abortions where they've died. So there has to be some kind of balance where women should have some form of abortion, but it's also limited as well because at one point that fetus does become a human being and has rights. And women should not be pressured into getting abortions. I think it should be something done with a doctor. And it's not something that should be taken lightly. I mean, the left has gone has really lost its status with this issue. They used to be fair, infrequent, and necessary when it was a mother's life in danger. But now it seems like it's just they've totally lost their disregard for human life.
Just on the show about a week ago, just over a week
Who?
ago. His name is Lance from the Surfs. So I appreciate him coming on the show.
I love it. You can talk to anyone.
Well, leftists typically don't like coming on and talking because they end up looking bad. And I think he did end up looking bad. But I respect that he was brave enough and sure of himself enough to actually come and talk. But something really interesting happened that resulted in a viral moment for us where he said, I ask many of these leftists, should a woman be legally allowed to abort a baby, ending its life at 8.5 months? They say yes. Now, typically what they'll do is they'll give some wishy-washy answer.
Just right out said yes.
So that's the thing. They don't
They
outright
know it's
say
wrong.
yes, but then
They-
eventually they do. And I have to do some prying. And I say, do women have a right to get an abortion at any time? They say yes. I'm like, so you're saying they are a day from giving birth to a healthy baby. The baby can survive right now on its own. You think because it's in the woman, the doctor can kill it. The woman can, well, it's her body. She can do it. Tell me yes or no. And then they finally will say yes. And then my question is, what's the difference between a baby that's gestated 9 months in the womb and out of the womb? The hypothetical. Two women conceive at the exact same time and their babies have gestated the exact same amount of time. One woman gives birth 10 minutes early. The other woman says, abort the baby. You think that that baby should be could be aborted, I say, yes, it's the woman's choice. And I just say, why kill the baby?
What choice does the baby have in that? I mean, it's just a different location. The baby happens to be in the
womb
versus it could survive outside the womb.
And I don't consider myself to be pro-life. I'm traditionally Democrat pro-choice, but they've never given me a reason why they think it's acceptable to end the life of the baby if it could survive on its own. And you know what he says? You're in favor of forced birth. You know, I said, define birth. And he goes, huh? I'm like, what is it? The baby's there. It has to come out. Why kill it? They have no answer.
Yeah.
They just, I genuinely think they just want less people.
Well, I mean, we could go.
Again, Tim Pool makes a really good point here. I mean, the fact is that once a baby can survive outside of the womb, it's very much capable of living. It's pretty much a human being. But now they're trying to say abortions at 8-9 months. That sounds pretty much like murder to me. I mean, I can't imagine having to take something that's already a full-born baby and murdering it. I mean, this is just beyond the pale. And yes, maybe there is some kind of agenda to try to just minimize the population.
Into a lot of these cultural things, and it shouldn't even be cultural. It's just like common sense stuff. I mean, we talked about children being talked into sex changes, and this is, and I think we've gotten so polarized politically that the left is like, I will double down. I'm going to double down. I don't want to be wrong on it, no matter how crazy things get. Where they go, okay, the child's gender confused. Should they be allowed to, use this bathroom or that? Yes, absolutely. Whatever they say. Then now it's getting to the point where they're having surgery. The children are having surgery. The 14-year-old girl or 15-year-old girl's having her breast removed, having a hysterectomy. And they double down. Yes, absolutely.
Rare as it is.
They don't want to be wrong. And it's like, where do we draw the line here? We're talking about people's lives right now.
We pulled this up during a debate on the show with another liberal lefty guy. And he's like, how many girls are people are getting surgery? They say, no, minors aren't getting surgery. Kim Petras in Germany. I know Germany's not the United States. 16 years old, biological male, sex change surgery. Jazz Jennings in Florida. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if the initial surgery Jazz got was in Florida, but Jazz has received gender alteration surgery, because this is like the third one. I don't know what you'd call it, but gender modification or genital modification surgery in Florida. And this is in the United States. Jazz Jennings initially got the operation at 17 as a minor. But we bring this up, and it's a couple thousand teenage girls in the United States over the past 4 years have received double mastectomies. It is in the I think it's about 2,000 to 3,000. And the response from the left is, oh, well, that's not that much. And I'm like, one is too much. Are you kidding?
In an American hospital or clinic, this is crazy. Well, and it is happening, and there's big business and there's big money behind it. And you see the advertising. I've seen it at hospitals in Arizona advertising for whatever they call it, gender reaffirming surgery. They're advertising.
This whole gender reaffirming surgery and pushing this whole transgender stuff on kids is just insane. I mean, first of all, most people don't have a fully developed mind until they're 25. Many kids and children, if they go through such a surgery where they dramatically have hormones and they mess up their puberty and they have puberty blockers, they don't develop fully as adults, and they scar them forever. I mean, there are hundreds of people who have testimony of how as children they had this gender affirming care per se, and it just screwed up the rest of their lives, and they live very unhappy. And in some cases, like David Reimer's case, if you look up David Reimer, he ended up committing suicide because his parents, from the day that he was born a biological male. His parents made him into a female and tried to raise him as a female, and it was so difficult for him that he ended up having to commit suicide at the end of his life. Hey guys, so if you like my channel and you want to see more videos like this, please comment, like, and subscribe.